Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, assalamu alaikum. We're gonna talk about a few things today. Actually, how to set up. I want to run everything in my computer. We've been talking about the AI quite a bit. We learned some foundations. Now, actually, I want to start. I know once I let you guys start, and then afterward you can go so far, and you can go, you can get that certification, you can get all those things done. To do that, make it simple, we actually should install Docker as a container so that we can run everything in the container. Everything is available, most of the stuff is available in container format, especially in Docker. So that's something that we'll start with. So I use Mac, but you have the same instruction. If you come to Docker, just type Docker desktop in your laptop, do a Google search, and then go here, and you'll find out #1 containerization software for developers. So I'm gonna download Docker because I have Mac Silicon. I will install the Mac Silicon version. It is downloading right now. So the reason I'm gonna do Docker because I will install a bunch of different components, all of them in Docker. In case I don't need it, I can just delete it, remove it right from there, because sometimes a lot of things that we install locally, and that gives us a lot of problems. So I'm gonna open it. This is a DMG file. If you are familiar with Apple, everything comes as a DMG. Now I'm moved into that application. Docker is now getting installed because it copies the image into the application folder. Then I can just go to, once it's done, then I will go and start Docker. It's completed. Once it's done, I'll just go in Spotlight search and type Docker and just open Docker. So now that I have Docker, I have to install the rest of the stuff. What am I going to install? I will install something called N8N, and you'll get to know these things. This is the one that you use for workflow automation to build the agents and such. I accept the terms. I continue doing it. Use recommended settings, not changing anything. Put your password, and you're good to go. Your Docker is installed. I will use my Gmail. And I am done installing Docker at this moment in my laptop. So what it did, it actually got all my credentials. You have to go through a few things here. I'll say, I teach. Not sure I'm an official teacher, but I'm teaching you some various different tools. I'm gonna say AI, ML. I will say data science. I do teach in various universities as well, but I don't have a PhD degree to do that. So as you can see at this moment, I have the Docker container installed. However, there are some updates available. If you want, I can install some updates. I'll say update, and it's installing update. I want to make sure everything is up and running, everything is fully up to date, and it's very simple to do. It's just click on that button, and I would say always download the update, apply, and restart my Docker so that I'm up to date. I'll remove all the notification icons in the meantime, so that should be good. At this moment, if you look at it, I have the Docker already installed here in my desktop. Now I can install the rest of the stuff. What am I going to install? Now there are a few things. I'll close this up. Now there are a few things that I want you to be familiar with. In Docker, there's a lot of things. I mean, you can actually look at a lot of different YouTube videos and learn quite a bit about Docker, and you become expert. This is a really important one for any developer, AI engineers to know, or even a tech person, because you can run independent containers, independent application without affecting your own laptop or desktop. So there are two things. Containers means this is where my applications will be running, whatever the container that I have. and the images mean all the images that actually I have installed here. I have copied the images, like Windows images, like CDs and DVDs. We used to have it in the operating system, so we can have the images downloaded in my images folder, images section, and then I can go to the container and then run that. So if I go to Docker Hub, that's another one. Docker Hub is the one which is publicly available, all those Docker images, and these are essentially you can just download right from here. I don't have to go any other place to do it. So let's say I will download N8N IO, that would, and search it. Then you'll find out N8N IO/N8N. That's the one that I'm looking for. You can see this is a $100 million plus downloaded already. So it must be a really good one, and I will pull it down. Pull down means that I'm downloading that image. Once I have that image downloaded, fantastic, I'll have it, and I'm gonna install one more thing from Docker Hub, which is called Olama. Olama is here for, don't confuse it with Llama. Llama is an LLM model, large language model. Olama is a tool, a service that runs in container, will run in container, that allows me to run LLMs locally, large language models locally, like Deepseek. I can download it, and I'll show you how to do that in a moment. So today is definitely we are building our environment where I'm going to be doing a lot of other things, and you'll have a lot of fun. Trust me, once you get hooked into it, you are a tech person, you're going to continuously explore, and you'll see the things that you used to do, it took you like maybe 30 days, now it takes few hours. Literally it takes few hours to do it. Then I will download Olama, Olama/Olama. This is the one, and you get to see this is a 10 million plus download. Yep, looks like right. And there is a lot of other things you can explore later at your own time. So this should give me two important things I needed to do for my download for my application to be run. You can see this is the N8N N8N IO/N8N. This is what I would be running. However, before I run it, I wanted to make sure that I have the latest version of it. I can pull it. It's actually downloading, still downloading. So I'm gonna wait for that to finish downloading, and then I will run it basically. And again, in the container side, you don't see anything yet. I'm not running anything. I have the images that I'm downloading. It is still downloading a little bit. I think it will take a few minutes. And then I can start running. However, you want to make sure you do all these optional names, optional settings. What did I do? I'm going to show you one more thing. You click on run button. You come down in an arrow, and I would say N8N local container. Whatever you want, you can write it. And the host port, I'm going to keep 5678. You see on the right hand side it says 5678. That's the default port. Host path, if you have a local in your laptop, you want to build a local one because you want to save some configuration somewhere. So I can go to my my folder, and maybe I will create something in my desktop. I'll go in my desktop, I'll create a folder, new folder called N8N local container. And now that I created this folder, which is in desktop, N8N local container, I will choose that host path. I'll go to desktop. I'll find N8N local container, and I'll open that. So, sorry, one more thing, desktop, N8N local container, and I should have it. So I have users desktop, N8N local container. In this container path, I have to write something. What should I write? And I'm going to show you where to do it. If you search in, go to N8N Docker, search in your Google, the Docker installation for N8N Docker installation. You'll go here it gives you the documentation. And here you'll find out, go down there, you're gonna find out something. It tells you how you can run from your terminal, or I'm actually showing you what should this be. It's gonna be home node slash home slash node slash dot N8N. This is the one that you should definitely copy there. This is where your data volume will be, meaning exactly what I'm trying to install right now. I'll go to Docker and I will put that container path slash home slash node slash dot N8N. I don't have to do anything else. This is it. That should give me a port 5678, and I'll say run. I'll allow it, and boom, I'm gonna have this container running. It's initializing. Now it says that your N8N is accessible via localhost 5678. Boom, you have it. You're running it locally. As you can see, this is running. I'll fill it out. This has nothing to do with your own installation, basically your own credential in the cloud. This is a local give me 1 second. Email, first name, last name should be ZAMAN, and that's it. And you just fill out few things quickly. What do you want to do it for? Education, what role describes you. I am, let's say, whatever, data science, automation for myself. How big is your company? 20 people. How did you hear about it? I'll say podcast. Fantastic. And now I want this to send me a license key. So you should get a license key in your email. I'm gonna open it up. I'll get to my email. Give me 1 second. I will open up my email. I'm still waiting for that to come in, and I will show that email right now. So you have it. It says, hey, please find your license key below. I can activate right from there or copy and paste it, but I'll just click on here. It makes it easy. Then I have my N8N. It says license activated. You're ready to go. And that means that now I don't have to pay anything that I want to run locally. It's called self-hosted option for N8N. And I'll show you how to do some stuff. We're gonna have subsequent videos to build a lot of things. You can look into, in the meantime, you can look into YouTube videos how to run stuff in N8N and all the various things and templates and such that you have. Okay, so I have completed my N8N installation in my Docker. Now I want to install Llama in Docker. Let me go back to my containers. Then you see this Llama has the image, and I will click on run. Same thing, I'll do some settings, make sure that I have the host port. Everything looks good, but I'm gonna just call it Olama local container, and the host port I leave it the same thing for 11434. Rest of the stuff I'll keep it, and I run it, and it is starting. Now if I go to the container, I will see my Llama is running. If you go here, it would only say Llama is running. And again, we'll learn a little bit more about Llama. If you want to see some of the images from Llama, now I have to download the images. So it's in localhost, the Llama is running. That means that I can locally run some LLMs. If you go to ChatGPT, you run various models. Let me just show you very quickly. ChatGPT. If you go to ChatGPT, when you go here, stay logged out, I'll say for a second. Yeah, I'm gonna show you I'm logged in already in ChatGPT. All these models that you see, various models. So you should be able to see a bunch of different models that you can run in Llama. How do you figure that out? I'm gonna go to Llama and models. olama.com and click on models. You can see all these various models. You can go with anything you want. Deepseek, Gemini is from Gemini. I showed these things to you in previously. So let's go to Deepseek and download one. What I'm going to download, because I have how much memory, you have to know how much memory that you have. In my laptop, I have 16 gig of memory. In this particular laptop, I have 16 gig of memory. So I'm gonna try to limit myself less than 16 gig. I can go to 14 billion parameter with a 9 gig, that's fine. Or I can just use the latest version, which is 8 billion parameter with 5.2 gig. So if I go here, it would tell me, okay, I can install these things in my container. What do I need to do? Olama run Deepseek R1, and that's it. This is the one that you need to run in your command prompt. So I'll go to command prompt in terminal. I will run Olama run Deepseek R1. That's it. It is downloading. It takes a little bit of time because it's about 5.2 gigabyte. It's about 10% right now. So what is it doing? It's actually downloading that model, and this model is called, as I told you before, is called quantized model. I'll put that on the side for a quick second, and I'll show you. If you go back to the models, if you go back to Deepseek, you'll see there is a various model. 671 billion parameter is the one that you see in the web, and this uses about 400 gigabyte worth of memory. Because I have only 16 gig worth of memory, I have to have a smaller version. So I chose 8 billion parameter, which is 5.2 gig. I can go up to about 14 billion parameters. More parameter, it's much better. Of course, response is also needs to be because you have bigger box, bigger compute, bigger memory, GPUs and such, all those processing powers and memory power, it can respond, but you need a lot of those things. So to run it locally, you have to be very careful about what you want to do and what you choose. Again, you can choose Deepseek, you can choose Mistral, you can choose Mistral, Llama. There is a lot of options. So like for Llama is from Meta, Gemini is from Gemini, so you have all these models. It's almost done. It actually finished installation of it, and looks like it's good to go. So I'm gonna show you one quick thing, a very simple task that we will run and make sure that we actually install the N8N workflow. Let me go in. Fantastic. I'm in N8N workflow. I'm gonna build one particular workflow to do some automation. This is the true power of AI. Instead of writing a code, you just choose your tasks. So first step, you can choose anything you want. You can say, when I receive an email or something in that range, or whenever the way something happens. So in this particular case, I'm gonna say chat trigger. Whenever I have a chat, and this chat is a local chat, if I do open chat here, if I type hi, and you will see that it typed hi, it says this is my session ID and the chat input was hi. This is a trigger in N8N because you see this curvy one. I talked about that in my previous video. You definitely want to make sure that you start with a trigger. You can have WhatsApp, you can have Telegram, you can have so many different things. I'm making it very simple for you to understand what it does. Then I'm gonna add an AI model. AI and AI agent. And in AI agent, I have to install a chat model, memory and tools for various reasons. Let's say I have it high here. Then what happens? The chat model is gonna do something, is that right? So which chat model I should use? Because of the fact that I have already Olama set up, I can click on Olama chat model, and I need to set up the credentials. How would I set up the credential? So here is a challenge. This is localhost 11434, but I'm not running in a local host. I'm not running in the machine. I'm running in Docker container. So where do I get this data from? I can click on Open Docs and I can find out if I'm running Olama in my container. Okay, Olama in the container. It's not in the local host. Again, this is what it says, but I'm gonna show you running Olama, hold on one second, in the container. I would have to set the variable, hold on one second, N8N, no, this is the wrong one. Let me just close some of the windows. I'm gonna close this one, we're done with that. Instead of localhost, I have to write, So in Google, I search Docker Olama in N8N credential setup. And instead of that local host, I have to copy paste this one. It says host.docker.internal:11434. And that's what I need to do. If I run this one and if I do save, it would fail. It says it failed, could not connect. But instead of this, I put it in host.docker.internal:11434, and if I save it, look, connection tested successfully. That means now I have my Docker Olama credential. Now I don't have any models yet, and Olama run Deepseek. Give me 1 second. Olama account, and then I'll find out. See, Deepseek. I have Deepseek 7 billion and the latest. So I'm gonna go to Deepseek R1 latest because that's what I just downloaded. My download finished. You see, this download finished. Now I'm gonna show you one more thing. What I just did. If I go to Olama account, and if I don't have anything here, nothing will show up. Again, you need to have this credential. This is the critical part of N8N. You must have these credentials. And then, okay, good. I have done the credentials. I'm good to go. I'm gonna go back to Canvas. Looks like the Olama is good. Now I need to add memory. What does memory mean? You type those chat, how many of those things it would remember, and how would they remember? They can remember in various databases or cache or some sort of chat memory databases, or you can use the Windows memory itself. So in the context window length, it would be 5, meaning I will remember 5 of the conversation. Okay, I'll leave it as such. Again, I'm doing a very basic version of it. Okay, and then let me ask one thing and let me see what it does. Okay, I'm gonna go through, make this go through the whole process, see what it does. Okay, I'll ask that question. I'll ask what is the capital of Bangladesh? Okay, I'm asking that one. What is the capital of Bangladesh? It's going through that AI agent. It's going through that Olama chat model. Again, everything is running locally in my machine, and it is going to remember. It's going to remember the first one. You can see in execution what's happening right now. It's in the running mode, and you'll see everything that happens. Editor is the one that you actually get to see. The canvas. This is called canvas, and the editor is the one. This is where you start to build some components. It's going through that Olama chat model. It kept in simple memory, and what is the capital of Bangladesh is the input, and we're looking for the output. If you go in while it's coming, because I'm running locally, it doesn't have power, as much power. It's an M1, so it's going to take a little longer time. So if you look at this one, you get to see that send message. Then the next one, you get to see what I asked, and this is the input. What is the capital of Bangladesh? That's the chat input. And this is it. Think, okay, the user asked about the capital of Bangladesh. This seems like a straightforward geographic question, probably from something studying or just curious. Let's see. The answer is Dhaka, but I should consider why they are asking this. maybe they need it for homework, or perhaps, see, it goes through full thinking process, and then afterward it tells you a lot of things. Wait, but should I go deeper in historical context too? In 1971 Liberation War. So you see, this actually provides a lot of output and its own thinking process. Again, if I go back in my chat, you will see when the chat happens, it actually gave you all of those components, all of this output essentially. So you get to see a simple stuff. There are so many amazing workflows that you can do. You can get your email. If I want, I can add my get an email. If somebody says set up a meeting, I can put that in my calendar. So you can do so many other things. One very important one also you need to know, you can build your MCP servers here, which is Model Context Protocol server. I would highly recommend. There is a bunch of different things. I saw one from Sumit Shah. Sumit has done a fantastic job in explaining that Model Context Protocol as well. You can see his video, as well as there is so many others. But I figured out that was done like a week ago, so it could be most up-to-date one. So again, you see what just happened, is that right? I have set up N8N for building my AI agents. I have set up Olama to call in my local. Everything, I'm staying locally right now. I'm not going anywhere. And few other things. In fact, if I want, I can set up another AI agent, and I can say, like, for example, I will say another chat model. Let's say I do Gemini, Google Gemini chat model. Now, where do you get that Google Gemini chat model? You go to ai.dev, which is in the AI Studio, and you actually can go to the console, just get API key, and I have created a key already. So you essentially go to that API key, copy that one, and good to go. Go back to this, oops, not this one, this is the one that we started originally, and set the credential, create new credential, and you have it. You just set it up. I save it, and never share your keys, especially the API keys. So see, now I have this. If I have not configured the credential, what happens? Let's say I want to send an email. So after the results, send that message. And if I have not, let's say I didn't consider finish the credential, it would come up with a warning sign. That means it's not done. You can't save it. You cannot save. You cannot run it. Apologies. You cannot run it because of the fact that if you try to run it, it says that it's not. You don't have the credentials yet. So I'm just showing you there's so much more potentials. You have here triggers. You have here actions. So the first one is called trigger, and everything else is called actions. And there is a lot of tools that you have, like here you can add a vector database and such, but we'll talk about those things later at some point. We'll go much deeper into the workflow. So today what we have done, we have set up a local environment with N8N, with Olama, so that I can build my application, my workflow agent, my AI agent with my something locally I'm running, an LLM, and get some good output there. This is a very important one. If you're in computer science, if you're in software development, this is something you should learn. And this is the things that you would be doing a lot more than coding, because you're going to be using vibe coding and some other coding assistant like Claude and such, Claude Cursor and all others for front end and back end and integration. But this is the one you would be using to get the business results. So with that, I want to thank all of you. Thank you for your patience. I think this was helpful. This is something we will be using in future. You are set up. You have set up your environment. Now go build something fun. Thank you.